Welcome to Cosmic Diaries. This is Priya Kale, your astrologer. This is the astrology for the week of July 5th to July 12th, and we're entering a big full moon week with the full moon in conjunction to Pluto in Capricorn on the 9th of July. But first, before that, today on the 4th of July, Venus entered Gemini, and tomorrow on the 5th of July, as I post this audio, Mercury will be entering Leo. And of course, also on the 5th of July, the Sun will trine Neptune and square Jupiter. And all of this leads up to the full moon on the 9th of July, which is in Capricorn at 17 degrees of Capricorn. So this is a lot. The energy is shifting, no doubt. It's important now that you move in awareness of what's unfolding and what you're creating. Venus has been in Taurus for the past few weeks, and now she will enter Gemini until the end of July, until the 31st of July. In Taurus, Venus was in her home sign, and this was hopefully a grounding influence, reminding you what's important and what you value in your relationships and commitments, as well as financially, what really matters to you at your core. Now, as she enters Gemini, there will be choices to be made in your relationships, when it comes to business, situations, finances, all Venus-related matters, so all matters close to your heart, your creativity, and everything that you value. Yes. Gemini does represent choices, so you have to be conscious of what you're creating. Your choices are creating your reality in every given moment. It's important now that you make choices based on what you desire and want, and from the heart, rather than in any fear or desire to avoid something, because that's when we lose our way. In relationships, especially when it comes to the heart, there may be a sense of feeling divided, but you may not even have to choose. What you're learning is that you have options. You have more options than you realized, whether financially or personally, in relationships. But what's important now is that you communicate honestly. That's the way forward. Once Mercury enters Leo, this could get very fun and flirty, and it's very creative energy, and it's great for creative ideas and just general communicating with people, connecting with people. Keep things light, keep things lighthearted, because things could get very hot and heavy, and things could get romantic too. But with the full moon that's coming up, that's a serious full moon, and there's a smoldering intensity to it. So it all depends on how you're flowing with this energy. And the ray of, as Mercury enters Leo, there's a sense that, there may be conversations that you're having that are bringing new information to light and showing you that you have more options than you thought and choices to make. And it will require you to be bold and spontaneous and dare to take a leap of faith and trust an inner knowing that you feel now. But Mercury in Leo is the first of the planets entering Leo. The Sun and Mars will be entering Leo a little later in the month, and that leads up to the eclipses in Leo and Aquarius in August. So consider what happens now as Mercury enters Leo in this week. A glimpse, you're seeing the ripples of what's to come. You're getting a glimpse of what's to come later. And reality is still very malleable, and things are changing a lot. So it's important now that you stay grounded and centered. The energy continues to build as we move to the Capricorn full moon. The full moon takes place on the 9th of July at 12:07 a.m. in New York. So that's just after midnight in New York, which means the moon will be the fullest on the 8th night in most parts of the world. And now Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of government, big business, corporation. But on a very personal level, this is the sign that represents a sense of authority, structure, your father, your parents. And with Pluto there, and the moon conjunct Pluto, the moon being the ruler of Cancer, where the sun is right now and Mars is right now, this could be very emotional. This could be a tidal wave of emotion. And what's unfolding does call for a level of emotional maturity. Resistance is futile. So it would be best not to try to control anything, even yourself. But it is important that you learn to let go of clinging to things, or especially to something that's changing. If you find yourself caught up in any kind of power struggle or dealing with painful emotions or resentments, this is your chance to rise above them and to really let them go. Recognize that the emotions that are being triggered have more to do with your childhood and past patterns rather than the present. And the more you can go to the source to release these emotions, it will be easier for you to navigate situations externally. Pluto deals with themes of power, so there's a sense of you having to reclaim your power in your life, especially wherever you have Capricorn in your chart. The thing is to recognize that no one and nothing can have power over you unless you give that to them. Not the government, not, yes, there are rules to follow, but at the same time, your integrity is more important than anything else. And as long as you're in touch with your integrity and your humanity, that's more important than any authority figure, quote unquote. This is you reclaiming your authority in your life to make choices in your life that work for you and that work for everything and everyone that you care about. When it comes to relationships and partnerships, it's, well, even on a personal level, wherever Capricorn is and this is playing out for you, you're moving past conditioning from your parents, from society, and the way you were raised, where you were raised, how you were raised. Not because it was right or wrong, but just because you are not your parents and times are changing. And this is about who you are at your depth and you recognizing what matters most to you. As I mentioned, this is the culmination of the past 2 weeks, and I've been talking about cutting the cord with something, and you are cutting the cord with something, but this need not be a painful thing. In fact, it's the beginning of something, and what's unfolding now is clearing the way for what's to come with the eclipses in August and as Saturn stations direct at the end of August. So this is a chance to clear the path and clear the past and release emotional baggage so you can create a new future. So be honest with yourself about the situations you've outgrown, the ambitions you've outgrown, as well as any conditioning surrounding relationships and what they look like or what they should look like or be like. Let go of your expectations of others. Not that you can't have what you need or want, but more that the more you can ask for what you need and want and then let go of expectations, it will be easier for you to receive rather than hold on to expectations and then be disappointed. So it's about letting go of the attachment, the form something comes in, or how or where something comes from. And as much as chapters are ending, this is an evolution. So there may be relationships that are deepening now as well. As you let go of the mask and you drop the superficial attachments, you can deepen emotional bonds with others. It will require you to be bold and vulnerable and dare to be vulnerable, to share your heart and not allow your pride and ego to stand in the way, as well as admitting your mistakes if there have been any, if there are relationships that need healing. You can't change the past, but you can acknowledge and learn your lessons from it and move forward from it. And there's a lot to be excited about. Also, this full moon marks Guru Purnima. Purnima being full moon and Guru meaning teacher in Sanskrit. And in Jyotish and Vedic astrology, this is one of the most auspicious lunations of the year, when we pay homage to our teachers for imparting their wisdom and showering their grace on us. So take the time at this full moon to thank all your teachers, whether it's your spiritual teachers or your teachers or just people in your life who have taught you something. Indeed, take a moment to thank life, because life is your greatest teacher, and everything that's unfolding in your life right now is teaching you something. And you are growing. You're growing in awareness of yourself, and you're hopefully learning that life need not be a struggle. It can be sweeter, simpler, easier, and a lot more delicious if you allow it. So let go, flow with life, trust the universe knows what you need and is bringing you what you need. And it seems like the planets are kind of quiet next week, but then with this full moon, I'm guessing we'll have a lot to take in and absorb. So, more on that next week. I will be in California with my guru attending a meditation retreat, but I'll be back with the forecast here for you. So, more soon. Until then, a very happy full moon to you. Yeah, this was a free flow, but I will be writing a full moon report, Capricorn full moon report, with detailed aspects and interpreting the lunation uh, and detailed aspects over the next 2 weeks. So do check that out. I'll add a link below. And I am available for astrology and tarot consultations over the phone or Skype, or if you're in California and San Francisco, I might be able to see you in person. So write to me early so we can schedule something as soon as possible for the next week, 10 days. And I'll be back with more astrology for you soon. Take care. Once again, a very happy full moon and Guru Purnima. And be safe, be well, and tada for now.